Okay, so one thing is clear that everybody is using AI chatbots, whether they agree to it or not. I see it everywhere, and I've been constantly bombarded with, how I should use AI to get ahead in my career, and if I don't know AI, I won't survive. So it's time to sit back and actually understand what AI is. Upon researching a bit, I have realized that the way we use AI in our conversations and the actual meaning of artificial intelligence is very different. And that's what we are going to explore today. Okay, so what is AI? What do you think? AI, is it like this magical thing that is there in our world that is going to solve all of our problems? Well, yes and no. Firstly, artificial intelligence is a field of science. It's not a technology the way we like to use it in our conversations, like we use the term internet or mobile phones. Those are technologies. But artificial intelligence is a field of science where people will sit together and try to make machines and computers that can replicate rational thinking like human beings. So whatever you hear about, okay, machine learning and like neural networks and all these difficult terms, that's actually a part of artificial intelligence. It's not like something we see in movies where it's just everywhere and it's going to take over. No. Now, what are these AI chatbots? Because whatever people talk about, whether in these courses or anything, they like right now are just talking about AI chatbots, because the actual AI that is used in computing, that is used to solve actual mathematical problems, is very different. So let's segregate that a bit, because that's really technical. That's not like we are going to understand that a bit. But I'm talking about AI that is being promoted to us, and that AI is mostly AI chatbots, which use different things that fall into the AI science to give us results and to talk with us like we want them to. So let's understand what AI chatbots are. Do you remember that chatbots used to be in any website, used to like give us these small options, 3 4 options, and you can ask them questions and they used to reply back? So basically chatbots are used for just not having you to talk with a human all the time. So you can just, maybe companies can identify what your exact problem is and then shift you to a human being that can help you. Where these AI chatbots are the same thing, but they use a subfield of AI that is called machine learning. Machine learning includes some kind of techniques. Well, some of the techniques are called LLM and RLHF, and I'll explain you both of them, which are the basic foundations of an AI chatbot like ChatGPT. So now let's dive a bit deeper into AI chatbots. How does ChatGPT and equivalent AI chatbots actually function? How are they able to give us responses like humans? And if you are someone who is already interested, you might know some part of it. Firstly, that it is not human. It does not give us human responses. It gives us human like responses because of the data that it feeds on has identified some patterns that allows it to predict the next best word that should come after the previous word, that gives us an illusion of human communication. Because language is just that, isn't it? It's just patterns that we recognize and have collectively agreed the meaning of some kind of symbols or some kind of pattern. When 2 or 3 symbols come next to each other, what do they mean? And then we communicate. It's the same thing for them. It's very easy for anyone to learn the language if they understand the patterns, if they understand what are the most frequently used terms and most frequently used context. And that's what this machine does. Now, is it impressive? Of course it is. It is amazing. I will never say it is not an impressive technology that we have. ChatGPT is a kind of technology which we have, but do we go to the extent and say that these are very close to human beings? No, because these are machines, again, that feed on data and then they predict the next best word. Now, how they are able to do that is again a different story, and then we have to dive a little bit deep on the technical side of the things. And do you remember I mentioned LLM and RLHF? So there are many things that are happening behind, but LLM and RLHF are the most easiest thing to understand and get to know how these things work. LLM is large language model. So this model basically trains on huge sets of text-based data, and that is not just the internet. It can also be something else. It can also be books. It can also be actual textbooks. It can be movie transcripts and documentary transcripts, whatever it is. It's a huge data set, and that requires what I think I've read somewhere that 350 GB memory, which is like the average memory that we now all have is 64 GB in our PCs, or 32 GBs if you're using older versions. But 350 GB of memory to like process. It creates these parameters which are like the filters. So again, imagining, and I could be wrong in this example because I haven't thought of it, I'm just thinking of it, but when we are talking with someone else, like some other human being, we know that there are few filters, right? We're not going to directly switch to curse words. We're not going to directly ask them sensitive questions. These are filters that our brain automatically applies, and we know how to have communication with someone else who perhaps we don't know, or even if we do know them, we know what kind of communication we are going to do with them. So it's the same thing for machines, but just imagine like the millions of parameters, because it doesn't have like a functioning brain that can just assume certain things. It has to be fed those. So it has those parameters. It acts with those parameters. Every time you ask an AI chatbot a question, whether it is Gemini or ChatGPT or Copilot or Perplexity, it runs these millions of parameters simultaneously and then gives you an answer. Now, imagine the speed at which these parameters are running. That's why I'm saying it's an impressive technology, because you instantly get answers. It's not like, okay, wait for 24 hours. I need to run these millions of TikToking switches and then I'll be able to answer. No, it's literally instant. So the infrastructure that OpenAI, for example, or Microsoft or Google, these companies that are behind these huge AI chatbots, have whatever they have done is incredible. It comes with a lot of issues, and we need to, of course, understand them and recognize them, but we also need to recognize the complexity and the amazingment, whatever. Is there a word? I can't think of a word, but yeah, we need to appreciate this. I'll come to RLHF now. If you have understood LLM, RLHF is reinforcement learning through human feedback. So again, it's a technique where it works in two folds. Firstly, the smallest thing. Okay, so when you talk with chatbot, whether it is ChatGPT or any other, again, you give them kind of a feedback, right? There's a thumbs up, or it asks you which option do you resonate with the most, and then you choose one option. So it learns from that. It learns like, okay, how many people are choosing the first option, the second option, why have they chosen, what is the feedback, and it kind of learns on that and tries to give you as much better opinions and better answers as possible. Now, there's a second thing that is a major part of RLHF, is that companies actually will hire experts to give these machines actual feedback and make their responses as human as possible, so that you, when you talk with them, have a very good experience. And so far it is working miraculously, because ChatGPT actually answers the way you want it. If you tell ChatGPT, okay, be very informal with me, I don't like these formal terms, be informal, it will actually talk with you like an informal person. So whatever they're doing is kind of working, because it's fun to talk with an AI chatbot. Okay, so enough of talking good about this. There are a lot of problems. I won't be discussing that, because our aim was to just understand what AI is, and do you actually need AI to go ahead in your career? Are you going to miss out on if you don't understand AI and anything? Look, let's just sit down and understand how it's working or how it's shaping your life currently. Firstly, companies are promoting AI in such a way that it's become a buzzword now. It's, you instantly, not instantly, but you're like more likely to get an order if you're in a service industry, or more likely to get customers if you're in the product industry, if you tell them we incorporate AI. Because it's like this new thing, and people love new things, and we now are so accustomed to newer things every single year that we just latch on to it. So I would say, looking at this, companies are going to tell you that you need to use AI. So yeah, you need to use AI. It's not an option, even if you know that it's just like basically a machine that is going to help you out. If you use chatbots in those ways, I'm not again talking about artificial intelligence, the core artificial intelligence that is actually used in computing. I'm talking about this, like this, the conversational thing of AI, which companies are now trying to incorporate and use and everything. Yeah, in programming it's working out very really well. So computer engineers are able to code much faster. It's saving them time. In creative fields, if you are doing some redundant work, such as just creating some kind of a content that maybe you don't like, again it's saving kind of time, or if it's giving you ideas. So it's going to be necessary for everyone to learn how to use these chatbots. It's inevitable, and it's going to save a lot of time for a lot of companies. Although I'm very skeptical about this one thing that people are talking about, where it's going to save so much time that people are going to be able to do creative stuff and all. It's not going to work because our systems are not set up that way. But anyways, again, coming to this AI thing, how to use it though, how to use it actually. So if you are using chatbots, whether for personal use or professional use, you should use it to again save time, first of all, but also use it in a field or something that you already know a lot about. Because if you don't know a lot about certain things and you keep on asking ChatGPT to help you, there is a chance that you could go wrong in those ways, because ChatGPT is not perfect. These chatbots are not perfect. And that is it. I think that was the video. I think I was holding this so much because I did the Arnab Goswami and why is TV news, Indian TV news so bad videos. Then I now have so many AI videos to publish. This is the one where I explain what is AI in a very basic term. So if you want to dive deep, I have all the sources mentioned below. If you want me to go even deeper, do tell me, I can do that. But I think now you get like a very brief picture about how AI works and what AI chatbots are. I have a podcast with an AI expert, and I again discuss all of these things in a much deeper way, and I ask him questions about what AI is, what is the future, how it is going to affect us. So yeah, do check that out once it is published as well. Thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe. If you want to know what I do on this channel, it's all about how information and media ecosystems affect and shape our lives. So how to deal with this information overload that we are having, that includes now talking with AI chatbots. And of course, there are movies, ads, social media, how it all affects us, shapes our cultures and opinions. I think it's very important that we need to understand and grow as a country. I believe if we are more media literate, we will make more informed choices, and we will elect more better leaders, and our country will be better, and the world will be better, whatever it is. So do subscribe, and I will meet you until next time.